welcome back to the channel. Today we take the exotic mead off the mango, pineapple and papaya. And as always, the bloody dogs come in for a drink the second I press that red button. What a moose. So we're going to take this off, see what it looks like. I'm going to freeze the fruit because I've took out the apples from the sizer that I did. Put dried apples in the secondary to try and give it back a bit of flavour. And I tell you what, the apples tasted lovely. So I froze them in the plan of doing something with them like a crumble. So I'm also going to use this fruit in here because I've got some mango, papaya and pineapple in there. And I don't really want to waste it, so I'm going to make them into the crumble as well. First things first is a hydrometer reading. So we know where the fermentation's at, whether it's finished, whether it's got more, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. It's looking crystal clear in there as well, which is nice. You don't normally get that this early on in a brew, which is really, really good. I can't remember what the last reading was on that, to be honest. Instead of putting that back in there, I'm just going to gently put it into this clean demijohn, which is where that stuff's going to go in a minute. Pop that there. So, where is my little booklet? The exotic mead the other day was on. The gravity was 1.000, so it was bang on the line, and it's actually gone up. So the sugars in the fruit must have come back out. Quite a bit of sugars actually, which makes me think, is that going to be enough to not have to back sweeten it? So we are going to use some Campden tablets, which is sodium metabisulfate and potassium sorbate, which are the fermentation stoppers. And what this does is it incapacitates the yeast, not killing it, but just stopping it from being able to produce any more alcohol from sugars, is my understanding. So we crush this down like so. It's just a bit of a pain in the arse. And yeah. And then we've got to try and get this to absorb itself into that liquid there nicely. Ooh, God, it's popping all over the goddamn place. That'll do. Near as damn it. Right, so that's one Campden tablet, which is going in there. Now, when I first started brewing, the lady that I was watching do it, which is homebrew.co.uk, I believe, lady on there who really inspired me to brew mead. So I've tried brewing it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. It's actually taken over from beer brewing. So yeah, might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. So yeah, half a tablespoon per 5 gallons. In it goes. And as I was saying, she mixed these in with water, dissolved them into water and then added them to this. I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to add any outside waters or out like that that could harm the brew. God, it's so damn good. if it's that good now, imagine how it'll be in a year. Right, so that's that in there. Now I'm going to rack it off. We've got a hydrometer test. We don't need to add anything else. Racking. Where is me? There it is. I thought it was a bit low. It's because this is actually my drips bucket while I am bottling beer. Put it on the ground because the... Ooh, thought it was going then. Let's move that out of the way because I don't need that anymore. I want to be really gentle with this because I don't want it to kick up any lease that has managed to settle out at the bottom. We don't want that. We want as little of that as possible. Right. So, it's going back on there now. Oh, there's lots of fanning about. Like so. And then we get the auto siphon. It's actually got some water in there still. Don't want that. Right, so we're going to go in. We're going to dunk it in there. We're going to get this siphoned off. We may get some of the bits from the bottom. I'm not too bothered if we do. There shouldn't be a great deal in there anyway because we've already racked this off before putting it in to the fruit there. And I think it was racked off prior to that as well. I think it was racked off into a demijohn beforehand. So this is its 4th racking. Dog's found something tasty on the floor. Looks at me and says, yeah, you can't do anything about it because he's doing a video. What a wally. Like I said, I'm going to save this fruit and I'm going to use it in some sort of crumble. With the heat from the cooking, the alcohol won't be there, but the flavour of the honey will, the fermented honey, and any flavours that are still in the fruits. I used 100 grams of the papaya as well. I know normally I actually speed this bit up, but I forgot to, so you've got to listen to me chat shit instead of me staring into a bucket. I didn't go according to plan. So yeah, I didn't, I added 100 grams of the papaya because quantity wise, there didn't look like there was a great deal there. They look like there's a lot more of the other stuff because it's, I don't know, drier or maybe it's a denser fruit. We're nearly there now. And yeah, it's all good in the hood. We want as much of this as possible. It looks like we've lost a bit to the fruit again. Righto. So we have lost quite a bit. Now, I'm not sure whether that's because of the fruit or what. But it's not really much of a bother because I'm taking the fruit and I'm going to put it in something anyway. So now all there is to do is gone a bit hazy again. So all we're going to do is put an airlock on it, leave it for a while, see what it does. There is still sugars in there, so it could start, but we've removed it from the yeast and there is next to no yeast in there to begin with. So I'm confident it's finished. I'll leave it a week in a cool place, let it settle out. It's got its stoppers in there now, so that'll be doing that. Actually needed to mix them in. I'd already added honey, so no need to add any honey. It's at a nice sweetness. It's very, very fruity. Dried fruit just brings it back to life, you know. It really does. That's a tip I learned from City Steading. I know I talk about them a lot, but the amount of stuff I've learned from them is unbelievable. Crazy amounts of stuff. Now there's loads of little bits floating around in this. I'm not sure whether some of it's the fruit, some of it's the other bits and bobs. It mainly looks like bits of fruit. But hey. And that's that. Into a cool place. Once it's cleared, we'll get it bottled. Although I'm only going to get about 3 litres out of that, I think. Which is a shame because it was bloody nice. But now I know I can do it again in a bigger batch. Cheers. Take it easy, guys. Just when you thought the video had finished, I come back. I want to show you the fruit that was in it. Right? It looks a little bit manky, but we've got mango, and I'm going to try these because the plan was to freeze them, but I haven't even tasted them to see if they taste any good. Mango's okay. Not a lot of flavour in it. A bit of pineapple. Not a lot of flavour in it, but you can taste the alcohol in it. So the flavours come out into the brew, which is what we wanted, and the alcohol's gone in. Now the papaya, now that still feels quite tough. No. Excuse me. Okay. I won't be putting the papaya in. I'm going to pick that out, I think. But then again, once it's all cooked in a crumble, would it taste better? I think it would. But that was not a very nice texture. Yeah, I'm going to take the papaya out. I'm not going to use that because it wasn't very nice texture. There was no flavour there. It was just like, kind of like eating plasticine. If I had to explain it, that is how I'd explain it. Eating plasticine. We've all done it as kids. You know, you look at it, it looks really colourful, and you think to yourself, I'm going to eat that. And as soon as it hits your teeth, instant regret. So that is all the papaya out now. So we're left with the mango and the pineapple, which looks pretty shit, really. But I'm going to freeze it and I'm going to use it in a pie. And, not a pie, sorry, a crumble.